Well, hey there, friends, and welcome to my favorite week of the year. The last week of December is always one of my very favorite weeks of the year because I love to plan. I love to plan. I love to cast vision. I love to reflect on what was working, what was not working, what needs to change going into a new season. And I think that the entire globe can agree that we are all ready for a new season. Now, don't make any mistake in thinking that I believe that when the calendar flips and 2020 goes away, that the lights will automatically come back on to what we knew as normal before. We all realize that many things changed during 2020. A lot of things were not really changing for the best, but I think if you are a person who is intent on becoming the best you that you can be, which if you're not, you probably wouldn't be consuming content like this because you know what to expect. You know that I'm going to come on and I'm going to give you tips and tools to level up in the year coming. So I know who you are, and I know that you're probably a lot like me in that you love to become the person that you know that you are created to be. And so I'll kind of give you a little bit of a backstory on this My One Word. I discovered this concept really, I think, by just reading a blog about 10 years ago. And I knew right away that it was for me. I've always been a journaler. I've always been a list maker. And so as a result, I've always been a New Year's resolution person. And I would write out about 10 resolutions. And some of them, not all of them, I would adopt. There's actually a couple of things that I began doing years ago that they became habits. And I stepped to and I committed to those things. One of them is to move my body every day. Now, I can tell you that there's probably been a little bit of cheating going on because I'm a fitness instructor and yoga instructor by trade. That is one of the jobs that I love to do. It's a fun little side hustle. And I feel like I kind of get two things accomplished at once. One, I get paid. Two, I get to work out. And so it's kind of a combo bonus for me to be able to move my body, and it's kept me healthy all of these years. Another thing is journaling. A lot of people have the idea that they want to journal, but they don't have the time. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. They don't even know where to start. And so years ago, I started just journaling my prayers, journaling to-do lists, journaling things for which I am grateful. And that just kind of stuck as a habit over the years. And then also really being intent on what my time looks like how to balance my time, how to be intentional about spending time where we need those things. But there's a whole lot of things, guys, that I still desperately need to work on. So I'm excited to bring you this content today on 3 steps to help you discover what your one word for the year might be. Now, as we move into this, I want you to think about, why would you want to pick one word? Change is possible, but focus is required. I want to circle back to the word focus for a minute because focus actually was my word for 2020. And I had great plans of the things that I was going to focus on. And guess what? By the end of Q1 in 2020, my focus was all over the place because my business, as many of yours, completely shut down. And I tend to go to all or nothing thinking, everything is wrong, everything is bad, everything is falling apart. And it really did feel like that for a big chunk of 2020. Our business was completely shut down for 6 months. We're slowly coming back. But as many of you know, in the early childhood world, it's been a challenge to keep your businesses afloat, to continue to be able to serve the families that you love so much. So the word I picked as focus was a huge challenge to me because I had to choose, where am I going to focus now? Because my business has been a very big focus. And so going into 2020, it was the year that I turned 50. I had great plans and great dreams and great visions for what this year was going to look like. And it looked completely different. And so over the years, I've picked many words. They've always really turned out to be a very deep study, a very deep learning in who I am and who I want to become. Always my word kind of polishes off some rough edges, if you will. And so I want to challenge you. If you've never done this before, I want you to just give me just a few minutes. This is not going to be a super long masterclass, just maybe another 10 minutes or so in looking at what the steps are that you can take to choose your one word and then how you can put those steps into action. So I have created for you guys a one word guide. So if you like to take notes, I'm going to challenge you to go and download this one word. You can find it at bethcannonspeaks.com/my one word. And there is a list of words here, 150 different words that you can choose from to help you choose your focus for the year. And I want to talk to you now about what are the steps that you're going to take in choosing the word. So if you haven't done it yet, go ahead, hop on there and print out that list, right? Print out the list to show you, to kind of give you ideas and inspiration for what you think that your one word might be. So the very first step is to decide who you want to be in this year. So think, pray, journal, ask, and go deeper than your typical New Year's resolutions would be. I want you to think like beyond your health or your food or your exercise habits, beyond financial goals that you want to crush this year, even beyond just gaining some wisdom. I'm going to challenge you to search your heart and think about what realities you hope to experience in your life and in your relationships and in your career. Because you are probably a multifaceted person. You're not just your career. You're not just who you are in your home. You're not just your relationships, right? You have a life to live. You have people to influence. You have people to motivate. You have people to lead. Even if you don't feel like you're in a leadership position, you have people who you need to lead. Even if it's just children in a classroom, you are a leader. So think about, who do you want to become in the next year? You know, when I picked the word focus, I wanted to be more intentional, focusing on some projects. We were planning on creating a digital side of our education company. And that plan was put in place in 2019. Ironically, who knew that we would have such an opportunity for us to connect across the digital world? But because that was part of my focus for 2020, for me, the Lord, maybe the universe, whoever your higher power is, I think that you'll agree that our focus had to shift in massive, massive ways in 2020. And who knows what 2021 is going to bring? I think all bets are off as to who thinks they can pick how this next year is going to go down. What you can choose, though, is the kind of person that you want to be. You can choose to be intentional right here at the end of 2020 as you're going into 2021, and think about what is the kind of person that you want to be. What are the things that you want to attract in the new year? And then the next step is to just think about what are the key attributes of that version of you. How can you respond and not react? How can you engage with your people and experience life from a space of peace, grace, freedom, gentleness, kindness, patience, and mercy? One thing that I do know is the entire world is struggling with self-care. The entire world is struggling to find the grace and the space to really take care of yourself. And this is something that I'm really glad has come to the surface throughout the pandemic, is that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to carve out some space for just being and not doing. So when you think about the key attributes of who you want to become, I want you to think about that. I'm going to give you guys a little hint. The word that I am thinking of for 2021 for myself is content or contentment. Not sure which version of the word. Not sure if that's what it's going to be yet. But as I said, I tend to go with this all or nothing thinking. And so it's very easy for me to kind of go down into a pit if I don't keep my mind elevated, if I don't keep my mind on the things above, if I don't focus on the things for which I'm grateful, if I don't look at the blessings that are right in front of my eyes, I tend to go and to look to what's not working. And so as you reflect on a year, we of course look at what didn't work, what did work, what needs to change, how are we going to level up in the new year? What are the key attributes of the best you want to see? And so for me, I feel like I could be more content. Does it mean that I'm going to stop naming goals and crushing them and trying to level up and trying to better myself and grow our business and be a better wife and mom and daughter and friend? Of course not. What it does mean is that when you choose contentment, that you get to focus on gratitude for the things that are right in front of you. So maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. Hopefully I'll see you again in 2021 and I'll let you guys know what I picked. But think about what are the key attributes of that person that you want to become. Now, and if you didn't download that My One Word list, like I said, there's a list of 150 words. Also, there's some resources that will help you guys choose some templates I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But make sure that you get those words. Even if you don't download that, look around. The world is speaking to the word that you need to choose for your word. It's just your opportunity to go out and find it. And finally, the third step is this: choose a word that inspires you. So once you dial in on the attributes of what you hope to become, simply choose a word that inspires you. Ignore the noise of trying to fix everything about you, and instead simply commit to one word. I tend to lean to that. I want to fix everything that I think is wrong with me. And so I would always make those resolutions based on all of the things that I felt like weren't working in my life. Where I wasn't being intentional, where I wasn't finding balance, where I wasn't being the best me that I knew I needed to be because I was trying to do all of the things. You'll never be able to do all of the things. So choose a word that simply inspires you. Maybe don't go from a space of having to have all of your ducks in a row or having to have a to-do list or have systems that you know are going to help you kill it in the new year. I'm a huge believer in systems. And if you don't have them, make sure you get them. I teach on systems and strategy ad nauseum because I've seen them change my life and I've seen them change my business so much. But systems might not inspire you. What's going to inspire you is having a life that you love, is having a life with the grace and peace and the space to be able to find your happy, to be able to find the things that bring you joy, find the things that bring you contentment, and to finally exit the overwhelm and not feel so always underneath your to-do list and underlist all the tasks that you need to do. So choose a word that inspires you. And then another thing that I do is I always like to create a mood board. So once I choose my word, I go searching online, whether it's in Google Images, searching through my Canva, and I like to find pictures of things that will help me with my word. So pictures of things that are going to really inspire me. And I create a mood board and I put it in my office. And then I love to share words. I love doing community. And one of the best things about this pandemic is that it has created so much community, especially in our early learning community. Oh my goodness, the people that I've had an opportunity to meet via Zoom or face-to-face, or the people that I've had an opportunity to learn from are just incredible. So I would absolutely love to see everyone out here choose your word and then share it. Another thing that we do with our Canva templates is we create visuals with our word. I'm going to put it on my lock screen on my phone. I'm going to put it on my tablet, ways that you can share on social media. So we're going to give you guys a lot of resources if you're interested in that. The thing that I wanted to tell you about before we go is, number one, remind you to go ahead and download that list of words. There are some great words here. There's over 150 words to choose. And then I want to tell you about our course. I recorded a course on this. It is an hour-long course. You get your training certificate immediately. It's only $12, but there's a video teaching, plus there is a 10-page printable workbook. And then you get to share your word with your community. So I created some Canva templates for you. There's 12 Instagram stories, 12 Facebook post templates, and 10 different lock screen templates. So once you download, you'll get to click to enroll, and that will take you right to our website, BethCannonspeaks.com. And once you're there, you can simply go into course catalog, choose the course that you want to take, and then get started on discovering your one word. So I hope that this has been insightful for you. I hope that you join me in choosing your one word. It is really a game-changing practice. And so inside that course, you'll learn about a lot of the different words that I've chosen over the years and the crazy real ways that they have impacted me. So whatever you're doing this week, I hope and pray that you carve out some time for planning, for casting vision, and for dreaming of what 2021 can look like. So I wish you all a very happy new year, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the great things that come out of 2020.